Hello, did you hear? Disney's making a sequel to Jungle Book 2016. And yes, there is a sequel to Jungle Book 2016 in development and is expected to come out in July of 2026. With Jon Favreau, the director of the first film, coming back as producer, with Disney busy remaking other movies of their catalog, and with Jon Favreau working on other Star Wars shows, it's kind of been put to the back burner. And as someone who's actually read the Jungle Book and the second Jungle Book, and doesn't claim to be someone who's actually read the book, ha! Take that, nostalgia critic. But in all seriousness, I figure while Jon Favreau is busy with Star Wars stuff, I give him a couple of ideas for this film. So sit back, relax, as I give Jon Favreau my top 5 ideas for Jungle Book 2, aka the sequel to Jungle Book 2016. So, let's get going. I wanna be like you. I wanna walk like you, talk like you, too. You see it's true. Someone like me can learn to be like someone like me. Oh, daddy, can learn to be like someone like you. One more time, yeah, can learn to be like someone like me. Number 5. More animal characters. Given how this is a sequel, I feel like we should bring back a lot of the characters from the first movie and give background characters a little more screen time and introduce new characters, including the vultures. Instead of them having mop tops like they had in the original, I figure that Disney should use the original concept art from the 1967 Jungle Book, and where the vultures were a lot more scruffy looking. My other idea is that you could go what they did with the hyenas and make them more ugly looking and creepy. Or go with both. You can make them both scrappy looking and ugly and creepy. My final choice with them is to have one of them being voiced by Ringo Starr and the other one being voiced by Paul McCarthy. Come on, Disney, you got Christopher Walken to play King Louie. I think you could go a little bigger than that. Another idea I have is to bring in animal characters from the book, including Chell, who in the book was a kite bird. Another idea I have is to bring back Rocky the Rhino and give him more screen time, because he only had a cameo in the original. Also bring back Gray, Mowgli's wolf brother, and have him be more grown up this time around. Okay, my final choice is to bring back the porcupine. He had a couple of funny lines in the first film, so why not bring him back for the second? Number 4. New human characters. Since Jon Favreau insists on having more of a focus on the man village, that must include new human characters. And that begins with my first choice for the villain of this film, Beldeo, the Hunter. Hell, Disney originally had Beldeo and even had concept art for the character. I feel like bringing Shere Khan back from, the dead, considering he was burned alive in the first movie. I feel like that would be cliche, and you would have to give an explanation of how he came back or survived that. So I say bring in Beldeo as a human antagonist. Another human character I feel like you should bring in at this point in time is Mowgli, who in the original book, Mowgli takes in Mowgli thinking that he is her long-lost son, only to turn out he isn't, but she still takes him in as one of her own. And I feel like bringing her into the second movie would add some conflict. Another human character I feel like they should introduce is Shenzi. The human girl from the original movie. Only this time make her a tad older and make her Beldeo's daughter. That would add some nice drama to the film, if I do say so myself. Number 3. More focus on the man village. Since Jon Favreau wants to put more of a focus on the man village, I feel like it's time to embrace the part of the book and where Mowgli spends months in the man village learning the ways and customs of men. Have him make tools like the way he learned how to make tools while growing up in the jungle. Yeah, the tools he wasn't allowed to make while he was in the jungle. That would be the very same thing that would make him stand out in the man village. Number 2. Keep Neil Sethi as a teenaged Mowgli. While Disney keeps cranking out these live-action remakes, that Neil Sethi, the kid who played Mowgli, isn't going to be a little boy forever. He's now a teenager. And having Mowgli be a teenager was also a thing in the second Jungle Book. Many adaptations, including the Soviet adaptation, as well as the 1942 Jungle Book, do depict Mowgli as a teenager. Hell, even the original concept art for the 2016 Jungle Book, Mowgli does look like a teenager, and I feel like Neil Sethi would fit that role quite well. Especially the way his body looks now, given how it's all muscular looking. Not only would his body fit the description of a teenage Mowgli, but you would also have a bunch of teenagers having a fan crush over him. Number And the number one idea for the Jungle Book 2 is have Mowgli grow as a character. I feel like in the sequel to this film, Mowgli should go through some character development. Have him make mistakes. Have there be consequences for said mistakes. And have him learn that failure is a part of life. Have him go from a man cub to a man. And unlike the first movie, where the lesson was basically to live where you feel like you belong, I feel the message of this movie should be the importance of growing up and learning how to trust. Well, that was my top 5 ideas for Jungle Book 2. If you have any ideas, put them in the comments section below. This is Henry R. Mockingbird, your host with the mustache, signing off.